Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ethereal Kia YouTube channel. Today's topic I want to talk about is my motto for 2019, which is practice out loud. So, what practice out loud means is basically whatever you want to do or you've been thinking about doing or kind of want to try, do it. Do it and do it fearlessly. Of course, fear is something that everybody deals with at some point or another, but it can be very paralyzing. And there's a lot of things that people don't do because of the fear they have of, failure, rejection, embarrassment. And all of those things do play a part when you're trying something new, especially when it's something that you're trying to present to other people. We nobody wants to be ridiculed. Nobody wants to be made fun of. Nobody wants to be embarrassed. Nobody wants to fail in public. But that is part of success. We basically, I'm just encouraging people and myself to take more risks and, be okay with the idea that you might not get it right. But it's okay. You don't have to. Things don't have to be perfect for them to be meaningful, and things don't have to be perfect before you try them out. You practice as you go along. So I have been doing some reading about copywriting. It's a skill that I want to learn. I feel like it'll be very valuable, especially for my future and what I plan to do with my business. I am nervous about that a little bit because it's something that I've never done before, and I see a lot of other people doing it, so I know that there is some type of standard of, this is a good one, this is a bad one, like you suck at this, you're really really good at this. I don't know where I fall in that yet, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay if I try something that I've learned in a copywriting guide or whatever, and it doesn't work. That's okay. I'll just try something else, or I'll keep trying it until it does work. Not without tweaking, of course, because that would be insanity. But to basically not be afraid of the rejection that may come from you trying things, or the failure that you might experience when you put your heart into something and you put your effort into something and you don't get the return that you were hoping for. We have to be okay with that. We have to be okay with the fact that things might not always turn out the way we want them to. Does that mean we shouldn't do them? No. Because on one hand, if you talk yourself out of trying something or putting yourself out there, you don't face rejection. You don't face failure. There's nothing to be embarrassed about because you haven't done anything. But you also don't gain anything. You don't gain any experience. You don't gain any new lessons. You don't gain any new skills or expertise. You don't gain anything. So yeah, you don't lose anything, and you don't face the negatives that come with putting yourself out there and trying something for the first time or trying something over and over and over again. But you also don't get the benefits that come from that, which is way more important, I think. So that's what this video is about, practicing out loud. We a lot of times have things that we want to do and things that we want to try, but we keep it to ourselves, or we just think about it forever and we stay in the thinking about it phase. Like, oh, I've been thinking about starting this new business. Oh, I've been thinking about, getting into this, whatever it is. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it. It's okay to think about it, but at some point you have to actually do it if you want to, see some type of result from it. And not only just do it, but to be okay with the possibility that it might not work. You have to be okay with that. It's not the end of the world. Like, life goes on regardless. Embarrassment only lasts for a little while and then it passes. And then, if you're ridiculed or if you feel rejected and you keep going, that speaks to a lot more people. That is a lot more inspiring of a story than somebody who tried something once and gave up. You don't want to be the person who tried something once and gave up. I mean, you can be, but The world is full of people who tried something once and gave up, and they're unhappy. And they're going through life, trying to, they want more, because we all do, but they're not willing to face the possible, potential negative repercussions of going after something that you really want to do. And there are some. But again, it's most important to be okay with the possibility that you might not get it right. You might not get it right the first time. You might not get it right the second time. You might not get it right the 20th time. But does that mean you stop altogether? No, you don't. Everybody who has accomplished anything failed first, and they failed a lot. But you have to fail forward. I got that from Will Smith. Which means still going in the direction that you want to go. You're not going to land every jump. Sometimes you'll take a leap and fall on your face. It happens. It's life. But it's okay. It is. It really, really is. Life goes on. And I think that we place so much emphasis on the fear of rejection, the fear of failure, the fear of embarrassment, and the fear of what other people will say or think, because we're daring to do something different and we're stepping out of a box that people have probably already placed us in. Especially with family members, sometimes it can be like, oh, well, who do you think you are? Or why do you think, you can do that? Or where did that come from? Why all of a sudden do you want to do that? And sometimes you don't really have those answers, or you have those answers, but sharing those answers only leads to more doubt on their part. Like, oh, you can't do that. Oh, what you think you're going to make money doing that? Or, oh, you think you're going to change the world doing that? Or, oh, you think somebody's going to, pick up that idea that you have and pay for it, really? And it's because their perceptions and their minds are so limited that they fear rejection for you. They fear embarrassment for you. And it's like, they'll try to discourage you, or not. Even if they don't deliberately discourage you, they may not support you in the ways that you would hope. Again, you have to be okay with that. It is the reality of, the process of trying something different, stepping outside of the box and going with your gut and going with your own desires and following your own dreams, which is, to me, the most important thing. Like, that's why we're all here. That's why we're all living. That's why we're all alive. For everybody doesn't necessarily know their purpose or think that they even have one. But if there's something in you that is screaming to get out, and I know a lot of people deal with this, whether it's, I really want to sing, or I really want to write, or I really want to act, I really want to make jewelry, I really want to do hair. But the environment that we grew up in, or the people that we surround ourselves with, are not necessarily, they don't have that same vision that we have for ourselves. So talking about it to them is more discouraging than it is encouraging. And that's a reality that we all face at some point. But again, you have to be okay with it. It is liberating to accept the fact that you might fail. It is liberating to accept the fact that you might fail. Success is not guaranteed, no matter what path you take, no matter how much effort you put in, no matter how much you do, think, say, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a 50-50 chance. It could work or it could not. But if you are determined, the numbers, the odds are going to be in your favor for the amount of times you try and the likelihood of you achieving what you're going after. If you try one time and it doesn't work and then you stop forever, you didn't really want that. You couldn't have, because how could you let, one failure deter you forever? Like, you haven't proven anything. You haven't shown anything. You haven't put any, gusto into it. You haven't put in the perseverance. You haven't dealt with the negatives and chosen to proceed. So you haven't really earned success, if that's the case. So the motto for 2019 is practice out loud. We already know it's not going to be perfect. You should know it's not going to be perfect. And you should be okay with it not being perfect. Might you get some flack? Might you get some backlash? Yes, it's entirely possible that, people could discourage you or be like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? I don't think that's going to work. Forget them. You do the things that you want to do for yourself because you want to do it. So practice whatever it is. If you want to write, start writing. Your first couple whatever things is probably not going to be that great, honestly, but it's fine. Just keep going, just keep doing it. You want to open that store, that online store, just do it. Just do it. If it doesn't make any sales for the first 2, 3, 4, 5 months, you have a couple options. You can keep trying, keep learning more, learn where you're messing up or where you're falling short, and readjust your strategy, or try something different. It's up to you. But don't let the fear of failure and the fear of rejection and the fear of embarrassment, don't let that stop you from trying to do what you want to do. Because there are so many lessons, experiences, and skills to be gained from just trying. Even if you never succeed at whatever it is. I want to make $1 million selling clip-on hoop earrings. You might not, but try it. Because on your path to $1 million making hoop earrings, whether you get all the way there or not, there is so much you're going to learn about that process on the way, and that is the valuable information. And that information more than likely can be applied to anything else in your life and anything else that you decide to try later. So basically, your life is a hands-on experiment. And if you want a certain outcome, you have to do the work. You have to put it in. You have to create that for yourself. Nobody is going to, take a peek inside your mind and be like, oh, this person wants this, and then come drop it on you. That's not how life works. You know what you want. You know what's in your heart. You know what's in your mind. So go after it. And don't be afraid that it might not work, because it might not. That's a possibility. Just accept it. Just accept the possibility that failure might happen. It's liberating when you do that, because it makes you fearless. Okay, so what if they don't like my book? Okay, so what if they don't like my blog? Okay, so what if they don't like my song? Okay, so what if they don't like my online store? It's fine. It doesn't matter, because for every person that doesn't like it, there's somebody out there who it'll resonate with. There's somebody out there who sees that you're trying and is willing to, support that or help out in whatever way they can, whether it's, a view or a share, a retweet, a share Facebook post, whatever it is. Don't underestimate yourself. There are people out here doing stuff that they're not even good at, because they don't have that fear. They just decided that they're going to do it, and they're doing it. And people are receptive of the energy behind it. It's not necessarily that they're doing the best job ever, but the consistency behind it, the effort that is put into it, the work ethic of being consistent and persistent and dedicated to what you decide for yourself is something that transcends all people. Everybody can recognize that. And a lot of people enjoy that, and they want to support that. What people don't want to support is somebody who tries something and gives up, and then goes back to their, regular everyday life, and then complain about not doing enough, or not being enough, or not having enough, when they haven't even put the effort into trying to change that situation. So, that's my video for today. And the 2019 motto is practice out loud. Leave the fear at the door. You're probably going to fail. Accept it. It's okay. If you fail enough, you'll succeed. So keep that in mind. Practice out loud 2019. Thanks for watching.